Hello and welcome to an episode in Force. As you can see, I'm out with my older SLK today, and that's because I'm going to be tackling one of the issues with this car. I'm slowly getting through all the issues with the car and I'm making real progress with this project. It has taken me a little bit longer to get through everything, and I finally decided to take the plunge and actually do something about the interior on this car. Let me show you exactly what's wrong with the interior before we go into it anymore. So here is the interior of my SLK, and as you can see, it's all with this sort of dark grey, charcoaly paint on here. And as with most SLKs, you find it's a really common issue. After 20 odd years, the paint's really gone. And it's all the way around here now. There are a couple of ways that you can solve this. Either you can strip out all the interior and get it properly taken back to the bare plastic as such, and then get it properly resprayed. However, there is also another way you can do this, and I've basically bought the sort of almost like a touch-up paint for this, and I'm going to basically repaint it with a sponge. This probably isn't the most ideal way. I know it's not going to get the best finish. However, I sort of think that actually it's probably can't make this look any worse than it actually is. So just before we start, I've got my little pot of stuff ready. I've got an interior cleaner just to get everything a bit of a clean, clean surface to start off with. There isn't really any sort of peeling paint on there, so we should hopefully just be able to give it a quick clean over without much of the paint actually coming off. I've got a cloth to help me wipe it over. I've also got some sponge to dab it on. This is just a regular household sponge, car washing sponge that I just cut up in little pieces. And then I've also got this stuff which I ordered off of eBay. It cost me about £50, believe it or not, to get this shipped over from Germany, so a little bit more expensive ones to pay, but hopefully. So the first thing I'm going to do is just get a little bit of my interior detailer, spray a little bit on, that will do us, and give it a little bit of a rub over. Wait a couple of minutes just to give that a little bit of a dry, and as you can see, it's not actually any sort of paint coming off it. I just want you on to clean the surface ready for painting. So I think now I'm actually ready to apply the paint, and as I've said, I'm just going to try and get away with painting from this line just down really, because this is where it's really bad. This top surface isn't actually that bad. I should just mention, right, it does feel just a little bit sticky to touch, whether that's just the paint just feels that way after a certain amount of time. I know another YouTuber I watch has a car this sort of age, and he often complains about sticky plastics. So maybe it's just a thing of at the time all the paint sort of goes and it goes a bit sticky. So I'm going to get my paint. As you can see, it's this one. It says here, then the instruction I got on here is shake before use, so that's what we should do. I'm going to apply the paint outside of a car just in case we have any little spillages. There we go. And yeah, it's just literally a tub of paint. There we go, I've put a little bit on. I'm going to see how this works. Just dabbing it on very lightly. So, as you can see, it looks a little bit better now. It's not the best finish in the world, probably can't quite focus in that well. But it certainly looks a lot better than it did, as you can see those two panels there. So I'm going to go and very lightly do the rest of the interior, and of course I will show you how that turns out. Well, I finally managed to do all the interior, and as you can see, sticky parts like round here where it was all sort of black and the paint had completely peeled off, it certainly looks a lot better than it actually did. I might possibly go and do a second coat. I'll see how this one fully dries. It's been about half an hour now since I put it on. But as you can see, it does look a whole load better. Probably not the best finish in the world, but I do think it's definitely an improvement on what was there before, and certainly giving it a sort of glancing look from a few foot away. It now looks a lot better than it did before. You could stick it around sort of where the handbrake is here, where you sort of rest your hands naturally to put the handbrake on. It was really bad around there, and I actually think it looks so much better now. Just quick look around the other side and have a look from another angle. It does look a little bit patchy in places, I shall be honest. I'm going to see how it fully dries. I might possibly do a second coat, we'll see. But yes, I'm really happy with the way this has turned out. I definitely think it's a marked improvement on what was there before. So project SLK is actually drawing to a near enough end. There's probably another couple of things I want to get done. Mirror I want to get sorted on the passenger side, so a little bit around the outside that's loose. I've tried clipping it back in, but because I fold the mirrors in to get the cover over every time, it still doesn't quite, it keeps popping out, and it's obviously something wrong with it. So possibly I might take that out and get a new one. I might possibly have a look at getting the new part. The problem is you can't get the trim that I need on that little outer section, so I might just buy a whole new one. Pretty simple to unbolt from the inside and then just bolt a new one in, and I think there's a little connector in there just for the heated mirror and also for the electric adjuster on there as well. The only other thing really is wheels as well. I want to get sorted, probably get them refurbished, and then probably spark plugs. That's literally the only 3 things left to do on this car, so it's been quite a big project. It's taken me a little bit longer than I thought it was going to, but it's finally getting there. I'm really pleased. Every time I do something to this car, I'm really pleased how much better it looks, how much it's that little bit of ticking stuff off that I really enjoy, you know, and looking, I think that looks better, it's just continually, slowly but surely getting better. So if you like this episode, make sure you drop a like on it. If you want to see anything else done with the SLK, if you want any more information about it, please put comments below. I'll try to do my best to answer. And as ever, hit that subscribe button if you want to see more of myself and the SLK. So it's goodbye from me and goodbye from the SLK, and I'll see you next time.